Guys, just the absolute craziest news dropped this morning when I had to wake up and go to work. And I just saw it. It was all over my feed. And I was like, oh my God, I want to make a video on this. And I spent the whole day just shaking. I was just waiting to make a video on this because, oh my days, huge. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. If you don't, Ilia Topuria has vacated his featherweight title. And he's moving up to 155. Insane. And there's also other fight announcements which we're all going to cover that today. But let's look at some of the reasons why Ilia has vacated his title, some of the possible reasons, possibly, you know, the hidden truths behind it all. And as usual, comment down below what you agree with, what you disagree with. Let me know your opinions and your thoughts, and let's get into it. Now, obviously, it's huge. Just to comprehend it alone is huge. But this is what Dana White has claimed Ilia has said. He has finished his featherweight legacy. He's finished his legacy in that division. And to be honest, he said he cemented his legacy, right? He has, you know, maybe it's not at this highest pedestal it could have been, but he's knocked out two GOATs of that division. He's knocked out who is viewed as the GOAT of the division, Alexander Volkanovski, in the fashion he did to win the title. And the way he knocked out Max Holloway as well, who's never been knocked out before like that. Never been knocked out, period. You know, and is also considered one of the featherweight GOATs. He's definitely, you know, proved this point in that division. And who else is there for him to fight? Do you know what I mean? There's like, we look at the contenders. I guess Diego Lopes was, you know, another one. Maybe, you know, a rematch that, you know, we're going to speak about in a second. But realistically, you know, I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. He's done what he's had to do in the division. He's champion. He won the belt. He defended once. And he wants to move up and make new moves. Good on him. You know, can't hate, can't complain. He also said, you know, now there's a difficulty making 145 pounds. And look, Ilia's 5'7", right? I'm not gonna sit here and, you know, we're just gonna not deny the fact he's 5'7", right? But he looks like a pretty beefy guy. Do you know what I mean? So maybe this is also like maybe a little bit of a cop out. I don't know, but you know, draining weight cutting is, you know, very draining. So I don't, you know, if that's tough for him, he's proved this point. You know, why suffer even more? Do you know what I mean? Then that Volk rematch that we thought we was getting, UFC 314, obviously that's not happening anymore. For the longest time, if you even asked me yesterday, you know, we thought this was the fight to make for months. He even said it on a podcast recently, you know, that Volk is the next in line. He said it after beating Max Holloway, that, you know, Volk is deserved for the, you know, he's a legend and he deserves, you know, a second rematch. But that's not happening anymore, you know, that's not happening. So we don't know how that fight would have gone in the second, but it's a fight we'll never get. Well, maybe we will get to see, you know, maybe down the line. I don't know, but yeah. Also, no double champ status no more. He's vacated his belt, no more title. He can become a two division weight champion, right? But that is not the same as double champ. Don't get me wrong, it's still a massive achievement, crazy, insane achievement. It's already such a massive achievement, the pinnacle to become a champion. Becoming a champion in two divisions is even more crazier. But what's even more crazy than that is being the champion of both divisions simultaneously. And Ilia cannot do that anymore. So, but let's be honest, we know he still would have been the champion for now. So we'll see how it goes. But, you know, he hasn't got that name to it anymore. And it is what it is. But yeah, it's maybe some lost money move from, you know, from the UFC. They could have pushed that a lot, got a lot more pay-per-views. And it's just good for brands, you know, it's good for marketing. But maybe, you know, it's also, they said something like, oh, if you're going to become double champ, you need to defend your title. And then Ilia might have been like, yeah, it's difficult to make 145. I don't really have, you know, a point to prove anymore. So what's the point, you know? And he just resigned it himself, which is also a very big possibility. So is this a smart move from Ilia? I think it is. I would have loved him to fight one more time, you know, to get that, you know, either go in straight against Makhachev, right? Go against Islam. Go for the big dog, right? Go for, what's the word I'm looking for? Do you know what I mean? Go for the biggest fish out there. Or, you know, defend his belt against Volk. But, you know, that's not, yeah. So, I guess, you know, it makes sense. He's done what he's had to do and he's moving on. So, who could be his next opponent? Now, if you watched my Dustin Poirier video a few days ago, you know, or whenever you're watching this video, go watch my Dustin Poirier video on the channel. I hinted at this fight. You know, that Ilia had said at the time when we were recording, there was a podcast he done that day on, I believe it was the Nelt podcast. He said that he would love to fight Dustin Poirier. He loves Dustin Poirier. And I hinted in the video saying, you know, maybe for his retirement fight, he could fight Ilia, but I don't really see it happening because, you know, Ilia's probably going to defend his title and, whatever, what we were all believing at the time anyway. But now it's looking like a possibility, like there's no announcement for Poirier yet. Who's Ilia going to fight? Do you know what I mean? We're just going to have to wait and see. Charles Oliveira as well. He beat Michael Chandler, recently. Michael Chandler has been announced on a fight card, which we're going to cover in a second. So who's Oliveira going to fight? I believe he's the number 1 contender, number 2, whatever he is. He's up and next for the title, very soon. If it's not the next fight, the fight after that for sure. So, maybe fighting Ilia will be a title eliminator. I don't know. Maybe Arman, same position for him. We just have to wait and see. Or maybe they just throw Islam at him, if they can't book Islam for anything. Or maybe, Ilia might be a backup fighter, if in case someone misses weight or something. Interesting possibilities. Because this has just come as a shock, to be honest. Like, I personally thought that Ilia was either going to go to 155 and challenge for the double weight, against Islam. Or I didn't see him, having like an eliminator fight. But now that, he has, moved up, it makes more sense for that. But we'll just have to wait and see. So, what does that mean? Now we have Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes as our 314 main event card in Miami for the featherweight title. Volk has a chance to become, 2-time featherweight champion. Diego Lopes getting his first title shot. And this is a great matchup right here. This is Volk was next in line regardless. And Diego Lopes he's not one to mess with. We saw him UFC 300. It's, we saw how he can perform at a high level when pressure's high. So, look, I'll be honest. I think I don't ever want to put fighters off, but I think Volkanovski has this. Like, I think he solidly has this. I think he wins a dominating decision or knockout. Because Diego Lopes is the future. He's the future. But unfortunately, I don't see the future as right now. And I think in this current moment, Volk has got a big point to prove. Coming off, several losses recently and, he needs to prove himself again. And Diego Lopes is that guy, who's to challenge him. Unluckily for him, because I think Volk is just going to walk past him. But we'll have to wait and see very soon. So big fight. Also, same card, co-main event, Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. Big fight for Michael Chandler, to be honest. Bigger fight for Michael Chandler than it is for Paddy Pimblett, because I look at it as Michael Chandler, he's entertaining, right? One of the most entertaining fighters. But how long can he really carry on losing fights, right? And still being up there, in the contender. I know he's fighting the top guys, but Paddy is... Look, people have mixed opinions about Paddy, but he's a good fighter. He's a very good fighter. And I can see Paddy submitting Chandler. I do see this happening. Like, this is either a Paddy submission or a Chandler crazy knockout. I don't see this going to a decision. I don't see this, Chandler getting a submission or Paddy knocking him out. Maybe Paddy could knock him out. Actually, now that I think about it, Chandler, he gets rocked quite a lot. But yeah, big fight in the lightweight division, and we'll see what happens after that. Now we see the bout list here. Big card overall. We've got Yair Rodriguez fighting Patricio Pitbull in the featherweight division. Another massive fight. We got Geoff Neal versus Carlos Prates. Like, a massive fight. Carlos, he's climbing the rankings quickly, gaining a big name for himself. We got Dominic Reyes. We got Jim Miller on the card again. Like, he's still fighting, he's still kicking about. Just a great overall card that we've got so far, Very good card for 314. Not disappointing at all, unlike, Sean Strickland and Duplessis too. But on top of that, we also had 315 announced. Bilal Muhammad versus JDM. I thought it was going to be Shavkat. We all thought it was going to be Shavkat. We hoped it would have been Shavkat. But unfortunately, Shavkat was offered the fight, but he said he's injured, so he doesn't want to take the fight, while he's injured. He doesn't know if he's going to be recovered by then. So JDM has stepped up, and I see this as an easy win for Bilal Muhammad. I can't believe I'm saying this. I see this as a sweep for Bilal Muhammad. I just see him winning a dominant decision. Is it ironic I'm saying that? No. It's fun. It's kind of funny I say that. But I just see him winning a dominating decision against JDM. Yeah. That's about it, to be honest. About that fight. Then also 315, we got Shevchenko versus Fiorot. I thought Shevchenko was, she's the pound for pound woman's number 1 or number 2. I thought she was going to fight Wei Li. That's a super fight to make right there. And I thought that was next up, to be honest. After, especially Weili's, last fight, I thought maybe Shevchenko would have, taken some more time off, until making a big fight against Weili. But, Weili just fought the other week, or, not recently, just not so long ago. So, yeah, a good fight for the women's division. Fiorot, if you watch her fight, she hits hard. So, I see Shevchenko still winning. Shevchenko is just in a league of her own, So we saw, Alexa Grasso just, giving it to her. But yeah. And then on top of that, we also had Leon Edwards versus Brady announced for UFC London as the main event. So decent fight in the welterweight division, to be honest. I don't even know who this can go to be honest. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Comment down below who you think who's going to win this fight. Because I'm kind of putting my money towards Brady, to be honest. Not that I like Edwards, right? I don't know. It was just a disappointing, last fight that he had that I watched, again, especially against, Bilal Muhammad. I don't know. It was just disappointing. So he has to prove himself. We just have to wait and see. Other than that, no more. So yeah, comment down below what you think. I'll catch you in the next one.